It's Jimmy here, and I'm at Assen. I'm not really sure how I've got here. Basically, I've been invited here by Niels, Ninfield, my sponsor. You guys might know him from the start of every video. And I'm going to be doing a really cool driving experience. And to explain that experience, I have next to me Charles from Cool Driving Events. Charles, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, no problem.
If you could tell us a little bit about what we'll be doing over these next few days and just give a bit of an overview.
Yeah, you know, we have a couple of days to get into it. We have lovely weather here, so it's going to be fine.
Makes a change from the UK.
It's easier. But we're going to be starting out really slowly, doing some practice parts on the track itself, trying to find the racing line, trying to find out how you brake to the limit, and do a little bit of twisty turns to make sure you're comfortable with the car you're driving today. And afterwards we'll just get going, get up to speed a little bit, and we'll show you the ropes.
Okay, so let's speak a bit about the car, because Niels has told me it's a BMW 130i. Don't really know much about that car, so any specs, anything about it you can tell me?
Oh, that's a good question you're asking me. I'm not sure if I know enough of it, but it's you know, it's a race prepared car, so it's going to be a lot of fun for you to drive that car, and I think you'll enjoy it.
So the circuit as well, Assen. Yeah. How would you rate it as a circuit for someone who's like me who hasn't really driven many tracks? Is it a beginner track? Is it easy? Is it difficult?
No, it's you know, it's medium to difficult. It's got really fast bits in there, so it's going to be tricky and sometimes like this. But you'll enjoy it, I think, and I think you'll be learning about medium to fast speed corners today a lot.
But just before we get into the actual driving, let's hop to the evening before, where I went to Niels' house to have a go on the simulator. It just so happened that he had a version of the car we were going to be driving, as well as the Assen circuit to drive on. So given that I didn't really know where I was going, I thought it'd be a great idea just to try and drive in the sim a bit, learn the circuit, learn the gears, and just get a feel for what was coming up over the next coming days. Let's try a fast lap, shall we? Or let's say my version of a fast lap, which would be and also fast lap. So, brake here, fourth gear. The brakes are apparently quite spongy in these things, so what we have now on the pedal kind of reflects that a little bit. You don't really know when the brakes are going to lock up, but you get there eventually. So third gear for this, I think quite wide. And then come in for the second apex, but the weight's all wrong there. And then the corner of hell. Why does this exist? Why have you done this, Assen? Corner marker is here. A bit before, I'm trying to carry the speed in, but it's quite hard to do it. And then this corner tightens up, so it's really easy to kind of oversteer off if you're a bit too enthusiastic with the loud pedal. And for this fake banked corner, feed the throttle in. Again, just hold it in fourth gear through here. Every part of me is like shift up, but there's no point because you shift straight back down again. And this being an S-pattern car, you'll probably lose time doing that. A bit of understeer there, a little bit too quick on the transition. Same through here, fourth gear. And again, we're well above where the peak torque band is, so real good through here. A little bit slide in the curve on the inside. Shift just past 6.5. Now I always get these two corners confused. The first kink is not where you want to brake, it's the second one. You want to try and brake in a straight line, of course. And then trail it in. Transition to the throttle to rotate. Then one more downshift to fourth. And then I missed the corner by a country mile, take the MotoGP line. That's a lap of Assen. Hopefully I can actually be semi-decent tomorrow and not cut the corner. We'll see. Now let's talk a little bit about the race-prepared BMW 130i I was going to be driving. Here it is, as you can see, a little bit lowered from the standard model on race suspension as well as semi-slick tyres. A little bit of engine tuning up to 280 brake horsepower from the straight 6 engine at the front. And as you can see from the interior, full roll cage, which hopefully I won't have to use, aftermarket steering wheel, bucket seats for both the driver and passenger, and a 5-point safety harness. After a short driver's briefing, it was time to get into the car and finally get out on circuit, but because there were a lot of new people there, including myself of course, we were told that we were going to do a couple of exercises to help us identify when we would find the limits of the car, things like oversteer, understeer, and of course locking up the brakes. Right, so we're just about to line up and do this first exercise at the struggle corner. I'm going to get a little, I guess, brief from the one of the instructors here on the left, and then give it our best shot. See how we do. for this exercise, it's a braking exercise, so I have to brake as late as I can. I'm trying to lock up, basically. Unlike the guy in front, you can't really see, but I can just see a cloud of smoke above. So I'm going to brake as late as I think I can. I'm not sure if I'm meant to be using the clutch as well. I guess I am if I'm coming to a stop. So yeah, we'll see how this one goes.
So, do you understand the exercise?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, good. You got the ABS system on it, so.
Oh, do I? I thought I didn't have ABS on this.
Yeah, I think you
We're going to find out, aren't we?
have. We'll see. If you see a big pile of smoke, then probably lift off.
Too early. I was discovering if I had ABS or not. I think I do.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. Try it out then. After repeating the exercises a few times and getting the hang of how the car handled, we came back in for a small break. Instructors who would ride along with us and kind of tell us what we were doing right and what we were doing wrong in an effort to prepare us for some solo laps that will be happening a bit later on.
You were certainly trying. You were one of the few on the straights who really went, well, I'm just going to, why not flat out?
I wanted to see what it was like. It's actually quite good in the corners. And again, the crazy thing is, all the gears we were using,
Yeah.
just the same. Exactly the same.
Yeah.
Like, maybe you could use further in the corners up there, but heel and toe is actually pretty easy.
Yeah, I heard it.
Yeah.
Dude is blipping. He's the pro. What the fuck? How's the brake pressure? Is it light or?
To get the full hit, it's quite a hit, especially on the ABS. Like on the test, they have little kind of the cones back there.
Oh, it's ABS enabled. They told me it wouldn't.
It is ABS, yeah.
All right.
So it was. I was kind of worrying. Oh no, I'm going to mess it up, and then.
All right.
It's basically it. As long as you aren't being a pleb, you can slow it down quite quickly.
All right.
And the breaking point for the chicane at the end is later than I think it is in the sim. I want to go out and drive properly now. Right.
Patience, my friend.
So after getting a few basic tips from Charles on things like racing line and just a couple of little pointers for the car and track themselves individually, he then got into the blue BMW 130i, and it was finally my turn to drive around the circuit on my own in a race-prepped car. I was pretty damn excited. The way this exercise worked is that Charles alternated between me in my car and the blue 130i. So after I had had a turn on my own, he got back in my car and we then went to start chasing some lap time. With the guidance of Charles and just more laps under my belt, I really found myself getting more and more confident in the car. I found that I was able to brake later and harder, of course using the ABS, and just had a lot more certainty in how the car was going to react in certain situations.
you can do for yourself now is, racing is about controlled aggression. So it's not aggression all the time. Aggression needs to be on the braking, and obviously when the steering wheel gets more straight, then you need to be aggressive on the throttle. But when it's still there, you can just feed it a little bit tighter and then feel when the car settles and then go flat out. Besides that, you're still feeling the grip, you're still doing this just to feel, if you get the confidence of the car to feel the grip. Know it from the lap before. Know that you have the grip. Then be steady with the hands, turn in and back steady. So don't have to feel it all the time everywhere. Know it in your brain that the grip is there.
Muscle memory.
Yeah, exactly.
So first time lap was a 206.3, and apparently that's in the ballpark already, so we're doing alright. So I think the goal was like 204, 203, something like that. But yeah, not far to go, which I'm really happy with. The main note I had, I think, was just to be a bit more controlled in the aggression. Be a bit less a bit less eager to get on the power, so my brain's melted a bit. But yeah, really fun. I think now I'm going to go for another ride, so should be good. Right then, so we're about 4 PM now, and so far we've been doing basically just a lot of practice. Done some instructor laps here with Charles as well, trying to give me an idea of what I'm doing right and what I'm doing wrong. So far, how do you think I'm doing?
Turns out you're not only quick on the sim, so that's a good thing. You're actually quick in the car as well. At the beginning you were kind of murdering the car, and now we're kind of being more easy in the car and getting much more lap time out of it actually. And progression is great so far.
So you think that I'm doing the typical sim racer thing and be like, yeah, just turn the car in the corner, it'll go, or maybe
you're used to just if it doesn't turn a bit more. And here we're listening more to the car, what it wants, and I think it's benefiting you.
Awesome. So my best time so far is a 205.4, I think.
It's great.
Where do you think that kind of stacks up?
Well, for a first day, it stacks up pretty high. It's really good. So sim racing really does help. It really does make you quicker when you get into a car. For sure, we're going to eke some more out of it. I think you want to as well. So.
Well, we have a little session coming up now where I'm going out on my own. Any last words of advice before I go out?
Enjoy the show, but take it easy with the slower traffic because everybody's learning here.
So I can't do what I do with the LMP1 car then, just bash people out the way and scream at them.
I've seen your video, so you're always taking a little bit of care, even of the AI. So if you do the same here, you'll be alright.
So after a few more tips from Charles and a challenge from Instagram from somebody who had done the course before I had my goal lap time in mind. I wanted to try and hit a 2 minutes 4-second lap time. The problem with that is I wasn't the only person on circuit. There are about 14 or 15 other cars driving around as well, with the cars being of varying models and speed, so traffic was a real issue when trying to push for ultimate lap time. After a few failed attempts of trying to set a lap time due to traffic, I finally had some clean air. So I got my head down and tried to put in a clean lap. time can be somewhat attributed to the fact that it was a bit later in the day, it was a bit cooler, there was a bit more rubber on the circuit, and of course I was more confident in the car. But to get a 202.6 on my first day, I mean, you saw yourselves, I was super happy with that. But that time pretty much marked the end of the day, and whilst I was disappointed to get out of the car, the upside is that we had 2 more days of driving ahead of us. Now, due to the sheer volume of footage that I have from this event in Assen, I've decided to split up the video into more than one part. Otherwise I think the video will probably end up being somewhere close to an hour in length, and I don't really want that. So if you enjoyed this video, then make sure to hit that like button. If you really enjoyed it, hit subscribe and that bell notification icon, because that way you'll be made notified of future videos in this series and future streams. Thank you all so much for sticking with me and for getting me to 320,000 subscribers, despite me not really being here over the last few weeks, hoping to get more active again now that things have settled down. Take care, have an awesome day, see you all next time.